Hi, this weekend I watched the Fantastic Four First Steps, the latest film in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and the fourth or fifth attempt at launching Marvel's first family and feature films. We previously had the 1994 unreleased film produced by Roger Corman and financed by German producer Bernd Eichinger as a way of holding on to the rights. That film was never properly released, but is available as bootlegs, and I've seen it, and it's charming. There was the 2005 film with Ewan Griffith and various others, which was a success and aimed at a younger audience. That had a sequel in 2007, Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer. And in 2015, we had a reboot directed mostly by Josh Trank, which I've covered in the podcast, was a massive financial failure, and I think is interesting, if not actually good. Now we have it directed by Matt Shakman. We have the four played by Pedro Pascal, Ebon Moss-Bachrach, Vanessa Kirby, and Joseph Quinn. And it's the story of a retro-futuristic, semi-utopian, parallel version of New York, where the Fantastic Four, having gained their powers in 1960, now are beloved celebrities who occasionally fight monsters and daring do. And then one night, the Earth is visited by the Silver Surfer, a mysterious figure who heralds the arrival of Galactus, who will consume the Earth. The four head off into space to investigate and discover that Galactus, a giant titan creature, has been consuming planets all over the universe, and they have to figure out a way to stop him from destroying the Earth. And they have only 30 days to do it. It's good. It's the best Fantastic Four film to date. And it does signal, along with Thunderbolts earlier in the year, that there is a general upswing of quality underway at Marvel, that they're cutting back the number of films they're doing per year. We only have 2 films scheduled for next year. So things are generally heading in the right direction, I think. It is still, however, quite a flawed film. They made the sensible choice to skip past the origin story that the four went into space on a one-off mission and were struck with cosmic radiation that gave them their powers. But even with that in mind, the film really doesn't have much of a first act. It just jumps straight in, and it's all story, character, and it really does feel like it's cut down to the bare bones, that there is very little room for the story to breathe. There's very little space for it. It runs a brisk hour and 55 minutes, including lengthy credits. I feel it could have just allowed itself to relax a little, allowed itself a little more time. The Thing, as he's called, because he's made of rocks, played by Ebon Moss-Bachrach, the character's real name is Ben Grimm. There's a thread in the stories about his unease with his appearance, that he's the most monstrous of the group. And there's very little of that in the movie. He's just loved as a popular hero, and he gets the beginnings of what might be a romance with a schoolteacher played by Natasha Lyonne, who has maybe 4 lines of dialogue. Johnny Storm, who can turn into fire and fly around. His story arc consists of proving that he's good at decoding languages. There's so little meat on here. It's just all, well, that's not quite the right metaphor, because it's all meat. There's nothing extra on here. It's just incredibly lean. It's story. Focus on the main characters, to the extent that, like I say, it feels stripped bare. There's such space to explore the world in which this is set, this semi-utopian version of New York or the Earth. And you think, what could this world be like? I mean, we see flying police cars at some point, and this looks incredible. I want to explore this world. We see very little of it. And it's a shame, because there's this whole world to explore, but we're so focused on this one thing. It's not a bad film by any means. It holds together. The plot makes perfect sense. Characters behave in a way that's entirely believable. There's fantastic Production design, photography looks good. There's nothing bad about the movie. I just feel it could have been better. It is the best Fantastic Four film, as I say, and it is marking an upswing in Marvel. So it's all pointing in the right direction. It's not bad, and there's nothing bad about it. But it could have been superb. And it's a pity that they never really got that far.